So you're starting a business and you call up your cousin or your auntie or your uncle and you say, "Hey, auntie, uncle, I just started my business. Can you buy this product from me? I am a new sales representative at the car dealership and I need to try to get some sales in order for me to move up the ranks, increase my commission, put food on the table." You're looking at your Facebook page and you see you got 5,000 followers. Every time you put up a silly cooking video or some crazy video with somebody doing something silly, you get tons of engagement on that. But when you post about your business, when you post about something that requires you to go out and have their financial support, you hear crickets. What do you do when your friends and family will not support your entrepreneurial endeavor? Now, this is very common in our community because Black folks in general are very ambitious. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in our community, but what happens when your aspirations for entrepreneurship fall on deaf ears when you are expecting support from the people that are closest to you? I'm going to provide you two different things. I'm going to give you, number one, the reason why family and friends will not support your business. And then I'm going to give you some tips, some things that you can do to not be in a position where you have to rely so heavily on your family and friends. And if they, for whatever reason, don't give you their support, then they just don't give you their support. So let's talk about the reasons why family and friends will not support your business. You are starting a business selling t-shirts, or you're starting a business selling pound cakes, or you're starting a business selling jewelry, or you're starting a business as a life insurance agent. You're trying to make sales of a particular product. They may not need or want the product. How many times have you had somebody come up to you and they say, "Hey, I'm selling Mary Kay or Avon." Back in the day, it was Avon. And you thinking to yourself, "I don't really need this." But you go ahead and you oblige the request, you make the purchase, and you put the Avon somewhere in your bathroom and don't even remember where you put it, but you bought the product or service because you wanted to support the individual, but you really didn't need the product or service. So the number one reason why some people who are your friends and family don't support your business is because they just may not be interested in what it is that you're selling. Let me just tell you about me. If you, my friend, my cousin, my uncle, whoever, and you contact me and say, "Hey, Jerry, I work at the BMW dealership. Would you be willing to come in and support me since I'm just starting at this job to become my customer so I can get a sale?" My answer will be no. You know why? Because I don't like BMWs. I ain't interested in BMWs. Now, if you worked at a Lexus dealership or you worked at a Porsche dealership, then we might have a conversation. But even then, we may not have a conversation because guess what? I am not in the market for a vehicle. So the number one thing you want to think about when you are in business, you're not receiving support, ask yourself, is there a legitimate desire or need on the part of that individual for the product or service that I'm offering? Because if you're a real person like me, I don't care who you are. I'm not just going to spend money for something that I don't need or don't want. Not everybody's just going to give you their money, no matter what relationship is between you and that person, just because you're their family or friends. And I think another thing we have to also keep in mind is you are not entitled to support from anybody. So always look at it from both aspects before you take it personally. How are you asking them for their business? What is your positioning? What have you done to indicate that this is actually a serious endeavor for you? What are you doing to position yourself as a business owner instead of as a hustler? And that's another thing that happens a lot in our community is instead of us positioning ourselves as business people, we position ourselves as hustlers. And when you position yourself as a hustler, certain people just won't do business with you, no matter what the relationship is. Because guess what? Let me give you an example. When I go to get my hair cut, one thing I know when I go to my barber is that he's going to be in there 6 or 7 days a week cutting hair. He is not going to say to me, he can't cut my hair today because he made a certain amount of money. And that's the difference between a hustler and someone who does this because it is how they pay their light bill, how they pay their mortgage, how they pay their car payment, how they pay their car insurance. They're going to be in that barber shop no matter how much money they made on their side job. So that's the other piece, is when you approach your business as a side hustle, when in fact it is a business, you turn off a lot of people, because a person who is a hustler is not going to take their business as serious. How many times have you had a homeboy or a friend or whatever, somebody that you've known for a long period of time, and maybe they fix on cars? This is a good one. Somebody that fixes on your car. Oh yeah, man, just give me $50 and I'll replace your brakes. So you go ahead and get them the $50 to replace your brakes, right? Because when you go to do anything with your car, the labor is 3-4 times more expensive than the part is that you actually need to get replaced. So if you know somebody that does work on cars or whatever, you might go ahead and say, yeah, I'll rather pay this person to do the work on my car. But guess what happens when it's a side hustle instead of it being something that they do full time? You call them up the very day you call them up to replace the brakes on your car. Oh man, I'll get back to you. I can't do it today. I got to do this. I got to do this. Always some of this kind of thing. Because that's why sometimes it's best to just go ahead and pay full price and use somebody that you don't know sometimes, because using people that you do know, if they're not set up properly, it puts you at a disadvantage or it inconveniences you. Whereas if you use somebody else for that same product or service, you can get it done, even though you're going to pay more for it. I'd rather pay more for it and get it done right away than to deal with somebody who is in and out of the business and treating it like a side hustle instead of being seriously committed to what it is they're doing. So make sure that when you are approaching friends or family members, examine how you're approaching them, examine how you're set up. Because if you're not set up as a business, you don't have the trappings of somebody who's serious about what they're doing. It's a side hustle. That's going to turn off a lot of your friends and family from doing business. Is this the right time for this person? Just because the person tells you no does not mean that it's no forever. It just may not be the right time. Yes, I understand that you need to get the sales commission. Yes, I understand that you want to get the bonuses or whatever it is that you're trying to attain, but you also want to look at it from the aspect of the consumer. Regardless if it's a family member or not, people buy when they're ready to buy, not when you're ready to sell. So your responsibility as a business person, as a salesperson, product salesman, service provider, is to stay top of mind. Make sure you have systems in place so that you can send reminders out, send emails out. Do it like you're supposed to do it. Have a program in place so that your friends and family can not only be notified of what you're doing, but they know that you are committed to what you're doing, and that when the time is right for them to buy a car or get their hair done, that you are top of mind and you've done everything that you could. Now, here's the other piece, and the sad reality of it is that some of your family members simply just do not believe in you. When you grow up and they always looked at you as little Ron or the little sister, or they always felt like they were helping you out, but then the tables get turned and they see that now you have a business and you're doing well, it's just difficult for some people to unsee you the way that they've always seen you. There's a saying that goes, a prophet does not receive honor in his own hometown. It happens that way all the time. Friends, family members, they go out to drink with you. They go to football games with you. But when you tell them you're starting a business, for some of them, they can't unsee you as the old version of yourself. Look at Liam Neeson. How many times have you ever seen Liam Neeson play in a comedy? How many times have you seen Anthony Hopkins play in a comedy? How many times have you seen Arnold Schwarzenegger play in a romance movie? People place you in a box, and whenever you show them that you're not in that box, mentally, they will still try to keep you in that box. And so what'll happen is people will be friends and family members. They'll go to a person that has no connection to them to have the same thing done for them that you could have done for them. This is why a lot of times you look at some people, basketball players, football players, entrepreneurs, very successful people, and you look at the fact that, hey, this person is related to this person. The person that is the rich person doesn't do shit for their friends or family. And then people jump in the comment section and say, oh, that's your sister or that's your cousin, and you should do so and so, so and so. Hold up. When I was in the trenches building my business, I couldn't get none of them to return my phone calls. Every single one of them that I asked to support me came up with some bullshit excuse for why they couldn't support me. But now when I have millions of dollars, all of a sudden I'm cousin, I'm this person, I'm that person, because they feel like somehow or another, because we are blood related, that we are family. That's not how it works. What you always want to do is not take it personally, but take note of the people that are there for you while you're in the trenches building your business. Everybody loves a winner and everybody hates on a winner. But when you lose by your damn self. When somebody is on your team, when people are on your team, they're not just on your team when you're winning. They are on your team even when you losing. They are on your team when there is no light at the end of the tunnel. You know why? Because they are ride and die. And guess what? That's not always going to be people that you're related to. It's going to be people that God has positioned strategically in your life for the season that you're in at that point in time. Everybody's not going to be on the journey with you from the trenches to the mountaintop. Everybody's just not going to be there. Don't take it personally. Just take note of it. And here's another thing that I want you all to do as Black business owners. I don't care where you're watching this. It could be Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you're watching this. Learn how to market your business on Facebook, on YouTube, on these social media platforms. Learn how to run Google Ads. That way, you don't have to be dependent on your friends and family to support your business. In fact, if you do this right, you won't need to run after them for their business. They'll come to you. Make excellence your goalpost and people will come to you. So don't beg them to be your customers. You just focus on your craft, improving your craft. Focus on reaching out to the people that know, like, and trust you and believe in you, and leave the other ones alone. And I don't care if they friends or family members. If they not going to support you, and you got all your stuff together, guess what? When they come back to you, you make sure you remember who was there for you when you was working on your way up. All right. So again, these are the reasons why people don't support you. Look, they may not believe in you. The timing may not be correct. Maybe it's how you're positioning yourself. But in any event, a closed mouth never gets fed. It's not going to hurt you to ask, hey, so-and-so, what is the reason why? Ask them up front. Hey, I noticed that I sent you a text message and I told you now not a good time. Is there a reason why you're not able to, you're not willing to do business with me? Just put it out there and let them answer the question for you. Don't make assumptions, because sometimes we get in our feelings over stuff when we don't even have full information. So one thing you always want to make sure you're doing is communicating. Now, if you're on the other side of this, and you have friends and family members and you know that, hey, it's not something I'm interested in buying, or maybe they're not professional, give them that constructive criticism. If it's a lack of professionalism, tell them that so that they can do better and be better for the next person, right? Or say, hey, look, right now, I'm not in the market for a vehicle, or right now, I don't need whatever it is. See, a lot of things can be fixed with just opening your mouth and communicating. Just opening your mouth and communicating. You don't know what somebody's thinking. You don't know what their reasons are. And honestly, you never will. Even if they tell you this is the reason why, people very seldom will tell you what they think about you, but they'll always show you what they think about. So always make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row. Don't take it personally. And then make sure that you support those who support you. All right, everybody, this is all I got for you today. Thank you again for watching this video. Make sure you go to visit our website, blackwealthcompany.com, to schedule your free no obligation consultation. You may also register for any of our upcoming events on Eventbrite or going to blackwealthcompany.com/events. We have both in-person and virtual events each month that you can register for. Make sure, again, you follow me on all social media channels, the Jerry Gordon, on both Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Or you can go to the Black Wealth TV YouTube channel and add us so that you can stay up to date on any and all upcoming virtual and in-person events. Thank you all again for watching. This is Jerry Gordon, President and CEO of the Black Wealth Company, where Black Wealth is our business.